Dan, is there any aspect of the tax code that you think has any chance of being either adjusted, fixed, that you think people are looking at right now and saying, you know what, this was just missed in the rush of trying to get the tax reform on the books?
The tax code is a mess because politicians have spent, 106 years making it a mess? But I'm a little bit concerned about the cherry picking on some of the data here. If you go back, say, to the 1980s, the IRS budget, even after adjusting for inflation, is more than twice as big. Now, maybe it's not managed properly. Maybe the internal resources should be rearranged. But to me, the biggest lesson of all this discussion is the problem is not the IRS. The problem is our tax code is a mess. If we had a simple, neutral, fair system like a flat tax, a lot of these problems would disappear because you wouldn't need these big fights between rich taxpayers and the government because the system could be simple if politicians would let it be.
So you think this is all solid, that you're pushing a flat tax? That's your solution to this?
Well, I'm simply pointing out that if you had a simple, fair system where everything was very clear, you didn't have any deductions and write-offs, you had a simple cash flow system.
I get that, but the thing that I don't understand is for every the CBO has said for every dollar spent on collection, you actually get $6. If you were running a business and you had a unit that's responsibility was to actually collect the revenue, you would not deprive it.
Exactly.
I mean, you guys are to do that.
All right, you guys are investment guys. Exactly. How many investments you put down $1 and you get $6 back, right? I mean, this is, it's an unbelievable. That just shows that the money is there, needs to be collected. And what the good news is here is that the Trump administration recognizes this, right? The Trump Treasury has said they have a proposal on the table, which I hope gets dealt with later this year when they negotiate this budget, this multi-year budget later in the year, that says, all right, you're going to set the defense spending, you're going to set the non-defense spending, but then you're going to take an extra chunk of money outside of that framework, earmark it for enforcement, and get that payoff you're talking about. And the Trump Treasury has proposed that, just like the President H.W. Bush proposed back when this whole budget structure was set up. So they proposed it. I think you'll see Democrats should be supportive of that. And I think you have a chance here where you get some bipartisan recognition that this is a real problem.
I've heard these perpetual motion machine numbers. Oh, just give the IRS a $5 trillion budget. We'll collect $50 trillion of taxes. No, let's actually make the tax code better, more pro-growth, streamline it, not give the IRS more thumbscrews to go after the American people with.